Dear students, good morning. Already in the previous class, I have taught you the lesson 3 questions. So now let's have a glance at the back exercises of the lesson 3 questions. Right, dear students, here in the first group vocabulary is there. So vocabulary vocabulary under vocabulary V1. Each of the following sentences has 2 blocks. Fill in the blanks with the appropriate form of the words given in brackets. One is done for you. Shankar has dash to help me. Do you think he will remember his dash? Question mark. Shankar has promised to help me. Do you think he will remember his promise? Number 1. The judge said that only fresh evidence would make him change his judgment. In the first blank, judge. In the second blank, judgment. Number 2. I didn't notice any serious difference of opinion among the debaters, although they differed from one another over small points. Once again, I didn't notice any serious difference of opinion among the debaters, although they differed from one another over small points. Number 3. It's a fairly simple question to answer, but will he accept my answer as final? In both blanks, fill with the word answer. 4. Hermits are wise men. How they acquire their wisdom, no one can tell wisdom. 5. It isn't necessary that necessity should always be the mother of invention. 6. The committee has decided to make Jagadish captain of the team. The decision is likely to please everyone. 7. Asking for forgiveness is as noble as willingness to forgive. Okay, the exercise V1 has been solved. Let's go to V2. V2. Fill in the blanks using the phrases given in brackets. Look up a dictionary if necessary. Use them in their correct forms. The old father was weary of his mischievous son. Weary of, tired of. The son was known for his bad deeds everywhere. He was so tired of his son's misdeeds The old father was weary of his mischievous son. The son was known for his bad deeds everywhere. He was so tired of his son's misdeeds that often there used to be bitter quarrels between them. The old man decided not to care for him anymore. One day, the son was knocked down by a speeding vehicle. His condition was so serious that the father decided to make peace with the son. He poured in all he had on the treatment of his son. He looked after him in such way that the son came round very soon. This is the exercise V2. We have solved already V2, right? Let's go to the next exercise, language in use. Language in use, right? The second category, language in use. Right, students? Under language in use, let's take up the L1 exercise. Look at the following sentences that appear in the story. Number 1, I was seen by your men. Number 2, you have been answered. The sentences above are in passive voice form. The passive form is employed when the work done is to be given more importance than the person who has done the work. So, passive voice. When do we use passive voice? When the work done is given more importance than the person who does the work. Right, students? Active voice and passive voice. The passive voice is employed when the work done is given more importance. Right. The sentences in passive voice form can be changed into the active voice form, effecting some changes. Here are some examples. Changing simple statements from active voice to passive voice. My mother answered all the questions correctly. My mother answered all the questions correctly. It's in active voice. Here is given importance to the person who does the work, who did the work. Right. So this is in active voice form. Active voice form. In the given sentence, identify the subject, verb and object. In the given sentence, The subject is my mother. Verb is answered. And object is all the questions. Right, students? Correctly is extra word. Extra word. Right, students. Now you consider when you change from active voice into passive voice. From active voice to passive voice. First you consider object. What is the object in the given sentence? All the questions. Start with all the questions. All the questions. All the questions. Is it singular or plural? It is plural. It is in the plural form. For that reason, so answered is there in the verb place in active voice. Answered is in past tense. So it is in past tense. So what is the be form verb? We have to adapt here as the all the questions is in plural form. We have to use be form verb. Verb. Again, V3 form you use. Were answered. Okay. Past participle form has been written and add now conjunct the preposition by. Preposition by. Then write the agent. My mother. And lastly write down extra word correctly. Students, like this we have to observe. All the questions were answered correctly by my mother, or all the questions were answered by my mother correctly. Changing interrogative sentences from active voice to passive voice. Active voice to passive voice. Right. Up to now, we came to know how to change the positive sentences. Now, let's see how to change the interrogatives from active voice to passive voice. Right? Interrogatives. The first one is, who built the Taj Mahal? Question. Who built the Taj Mahal? Right, students. Question mark. Put the question mark. Yes, question mark has been put already. Look at students. Subject is who. Verb is built. Object is the Taj Mahal. Okay. Now, object becomes the subject. Right. But who is there? Who changes into by whom? By whom? Write down. First one. By whom? Built is in past tense. Which be form verb should be selected here? Remember, be form verb was or were. Now here Taj Mahal is singular, for that reason was. Then you put the object, the Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal. Put V3 form of built, same built. This is the passive voice form of who built the Taj Mahal. By whom was the Taj Mahal built? By whom was the Taj Mahal built? Okay, you do, students. Simple. Who wrote the letters? Can you do? Yes, you can do. Divide subject, verb, and object. Do. By whom? Write down. The letters is in plural form for that reason. So, by whom were the letters written? Like this. Like this. Right, students? We can change this way. Next one. Next one. Changing imperative sentences from active voice to passive voice form. Kick all of them out in imperative sentences. Kick all of them out. Right, students? First one, verb is there, no problem. Object is there. So right, this is extra word you imagine. Okay, first when you change the imperative sentence into passive voice form, start with let. Commonly, you use the word let. Now you use object. What is the object? Let all of them. Let all of them. Commonly you use be. Be. Okay, what is the V3 form of kick? Kicked. Mostly write down out. Let all of them be kicked out. Let all of them be kicked out. It should be remembered that a passive form has a specific area of use. Attempt should not be made to change every sentence in the active form into the passive form. The changes should always be sensible. All the sentences we cannot change into passive form. Only transitive verbs. The sentences which have the transitive verbs can be changed into passive form. Task 1. Read the following news item that appeared in a news story. Some rogues engaged in trafficking of children kidnapped a smart school-going boy. A few pedestrians saw the incident. They requested some youth standing nearby to save the boy. The youth who ran after the rogues saved the boy. The onlookers appreciated the bravery of the youth. Rewrite the above paragraph starting as under. A smart school-going boy was kidnapped by some rogues engaged in trafficking of children. The incident was seen by a few pedestrians. Some youth standing nearby was requested by them to save the boy. The boy was saved by the youth who ran after the rogues. The bravery of the youth was appreciated by the onlookers. This is task 1. Come to task 2. See task 2. Complete the paragraph using the passive forms of the verbs given in brackets. The World Environment Day is observed on June 5th every year. The World Environment Day is observed on June 5th every year. Millions of saplings are planted by responsible citizens world over. Millions of saplings are planted by responsible citizens world over. In schools and colleges, students are given the task of picking all non-biodegradable materials like plastic. Non-biodegradable materials like plastic. They are told how to keep the environment free of pollution. Students, once again, I read the paragraph. You also observe properly how to fill in the blank, the V3 forms of the verb given in the blank brackets. The World Environment Day is observed on June 5th every year. Observed. Millions of saplings are planted by responsible citizens world over. Planted. In schools and colleges, students are given the task of picking all non-biodegradable materials like plastic. Given. They are told how to keep the environment free of pollution. Told. Come to task 3. Collect a few newspaper headings. Do one thing, students. English newspaper, Times of India, Deccan Herald, some newspaper you pick up and find out whether they are in the active voice or the passive voice. Headlines, you just look at the headlines. Paste them in a scrapbook. You make one scrapbook. Here is an example for you. 3 terrorists were shot dead. Come to. Next one. L2. Read the following sentences that appear in the lesson. Number 1. Many wise men came to the king. They all answered his questions differently. Number 2. Some said the king must prepare a timetable. He should follow it strictly. Right. Note that each of the statements given above contains 2 simple sentences. They have a subject and a finite verb. Right, students? L2 1. Many wise men came to the king. They all answered his questions differently. Right, students. In the first sentence, many wise men is the subject. Finite verb is came. Finite verb. You may ask me, which is finite verb, sir? What is finite verb? Which is finite verb? Not what is finite verb. Finite verb is the verb which decides the tense and number. Tense and number. Observe, students. So came is there. Came is in past tense. This shows it is in past tense. And when the subject is in plural, this is also in plural. Tense and number it shows. Tense and number it shows. Right. Once again, many wise men is the subject and came is the finite verb. Come to the second sentence. They is the subject. They is the subject. Answered is the verb. So that is finite verb. Finite verb. Right. Like this. The same way, the two simple sentences in statements 1 and 2 can be combined as under. Many wise men came to the king, but they all answered his questions differently. Many wise men came to the king, but they all answered his questions differently. Number 2. Some said the king must prepare a timetable and he should follow it strictly. Sentences thus combined using coordinating conjunctions such as but and are compound sentences. What is a compound sentence? A compound sentence is a sentence formed from two or more simple sentences. What is a compound sentence? Now, compound sentence. This is called compound sentence. Compound sentence is a sentence formed from two or more simple sentences. Compound sentence. Compound sentence is a form of a sentence, a type of sentence. So it is formed from one or two simple sentences. Right. Example. Many wise men came to the king, but they all answered his questions differently. This is. Okay. Note. The two clauses forming the compound sentence. The two clauses forming the compound sentence must be related in meaning. It would not be logical to join two sentences. Logical to join two sentences. Logical to join two sentences. Right. Okay. It would not be logical to join two sentences with unrelated meanings. Number 2. A coordinating conjunction is one of these 7 joining words: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. You can remember the coordinating conjunctions with the word fanboys. Fan boys. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Okay. With the word fanboys formed from the first letters of these 7 conjunctions. Conjunction, students, you know conjunction. What is the meaning of conjunction? Conjunction is a word which joins the two words or two phrases or two clauses or two sentences. So, conjunction is a word which joins two words or two phrases or two clauses or two sentences. Right. Like this. These are the coordinating conjunctions. Examples are given. Once you read, here are some more examples of compound sentences. Number 1. The two stopped to eat, for the work had made them hungry. 2. The afternoon had been long and hours had gone by since lunch. 3. There was no house nearby, nor did they have any food with them. 4. They wanted to pick blueberries as a snack, but a bear growled at them from the berry patch. 5. Should they leave now or should they wait away? 6. The job was not done yet. They needed to rest and eat. 7. They were starving and it was getting dark, so they went home. Okay, students. Another one exercise, speak well, offering help. Language function is offering help. Imagine you are Abdul, a resident of the historical Vijaypura city, and you meet James, a foreign tourist, in front of the Golgumbas. You have the following conversation, work in pairs, playing the role of Abdul and James. If I stand up this side, I am Abdul. If I stand up that side, I am James. Foreigner comes. Good morning. I am James. Could I know your name, please? Very good morning. I am Abdul. Where are you from, sir? I am from Germany. Could you mind giving me some information about this monument? Not at all. It's my pleasure. This monument is Golgumbas. It is the second biggest dome in the world. Oh, wonderful! Who built this great monument? Muhammad Adil Shah built it. What makes this monument interesting? Golgumbas has a whispering gallery Every sound uttered in the gallery is echoed more than 7 times. More than 7 times. Is that so? It's really interesting. Well, how many people visit this structure every year? Thousands. Eager tourists from every nook and corner of the world visit it every year. But Vijayapura is very hot in April, which is the ideal time to visit this historical city. November, December, and January are the ideal months to visit Vijayapura. Thank you very much, Mr. Abdul, for all the information. You are welcome, Mr. James. Okay, I stop now. Right, students? So today we came to know about especially active voice and passive voice and other things, especially conjunctions, coordinating conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions are shortly said as fan voice. Thank you very much.